Welcome to Harold's Handicrafts, where crafty hands make handicrafts. Okay, today we're going to be making a handsome country kitchen clock. All right, well first, as always, step one. You gather up, some scraps of wood, like that'll be these, and then you nail them together and you get yourself a lovely housing for the clock mechanism. Alrighty, so you take a couple and you're going to nail them together, and that'll be the actual clock housing. We won't use that one. That's gonna die. There. Isn't that attractive? And it's sturdy, too. Well, we're just going to let that glue dry. And now it's time to work on the clock mechanism. And for that, you're going to have to buy a kit. That's in here. And there's everything in here. These things are great. Look at that. You got the windings, and there's a dark thing, and stuff. It's like, look at all that stuff. And that's exactly what you need. You have to buy these. So, okay. There's everything you're going to possibly need in here. Except the instructions. But that's okay. That's okay, because we can only hope that it's logical. And there you have it, a lovely country clock face. And of course, you have all the mechanisms. That's intricate. We won't get into that this week. Alrighty, and then you simply insert the clock mechanism into the previously constructed housing. Alrighty, there you have it, your very own country clock. And the best part is, you made it yourself.
Hi, Ranger Gord again. Every year come spring, it comes time to paint the old fire watch tower. And a lot of people might say, boy, Ranger Gord, that sounds like a lot of work painting all those stairs. But in fact, it's not that bad. Here, let me show you. First, we'll start with a primer coat. Great. And once that's done, we'll start with the first coat. Yep. And, well, it looks like we need a second coat here. There we go. The job's done. Oh, gee, sorry, Red, I didn't see you coming up there.
Well, 2 more lodge members were arrested for illegal fishing. I mean, I'm all for law and order, but this red tape is killing the sport. Everybody's ticked off. Even the guys on the Spanish trawler are thinking of leaving. The cops picked up Moose Thompson for poisoning fish.
Poisoning fish? Why would he do that? Who wants to eat poisoned fish?
Well, he uses benzene, Harold, so it all kind of burns off when you cook it, Tastes like the fish was cooked in wine, Australian wine.
What does it matter with you guys? Why don't you just fish the normal way?
Oh, really? Well, Buster Hatfield was fined and arrested, and he was fishing with a hook and a line. A hook and a line was all he had.
A grappling hook and a high-tension power line. Anybody using a metal lure had most of their body hair burned off.
Well, so what? People pay good money to have their body hair removed.
What happens if I lose my eyebrows and they don't grow back?
Well, then you could be a female impersonator instead of a male impersonator. Meanwhile, back at the casting contest, Bill and I are getting... Well, that's a heck of a lure you got on there, Bill. Bill and I are getting ready to just kind of warm up our skills and everything. We had a little bucket there. It was close. It was close. Pretty close. Yeah, it was close. It was close. You give it a try there, big man. No, not that way. Oh, what are you doing? Oh. Well, there's an unusual technique, eh? So he tries her again. Right in. Beautiful job. Beautiful job. No, Bill. No. Oh. This is something you really should do on your own, I think. Especially when you're with Bill. Now, of course, his reel's all jammed up there because he bought the whole rod and reel kit for 99 cents. Brand new. So you got an idea? What are you doing? Let me get something else. What are you doing? What's something in there? There's no fishing gear in there. That's the van. There's no fishing gear in there, you dumb big... What are you doing? What's going on? What are you doing there? That's a wrench. What do you got a wrench in the gear? What are you doing? What are you doing? What do you got there? What do you got? That's my starting motor. What are you doing with my starting motor? What's the plan? Oh, he's gonna use that as a fishing reel. Later that day, the sun came out and everything, and he's got an old... Oh my gosh, he got a hold of that one, didn't he? Look at that baby go. Yeah. Holy mackerel. Oh, look up the wires there, Bill. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh, he's got the steel line on there too. Hey, how's that feel? Oh boy, and of course what happens now is, unfortunately, I guess, the starting motor started up and started winding the line in, and Bill's gone. He's not winding the line in, actually. He's winding Bill up to the line. Oh, my golly. Look out, look out, look out, look out, look out, Bill, look out, Bill. Oh, my golly. Gosh, that was, and up he goes. But, hey, all's well that ends well. Look at that. Should have seen the one that got away. Stay tuned while I make a few adjustments to my fish finder. Well, I've had it. Bob Stuyvesant just confiscated all my fishing equipment right out of my boat. My rod, my reels, my line, my hooks, my lures, the whole shebang. What would give him the right to come over there and take my stuff?
His stuff. You borrowed it from him last year.
Oh, yeah, all right. Okay, I'll tell you this. If the government had their way, you know what fishing would be? Sitting in a boat with a rod and a reel and a lure, waiting for some fish to come along and bite it. That's not a sport, that's gambling.
Why don't you guys use, like, legal fishing equipment? You know, like a fish finder.
You know what I'm going to do?
Use a fish finder?
Use a fish finder.
Sure.
I should have thought of this before. You know why I didn't?
Because I didn't mention it?
Because I waste all my time arguing with you all day. I'm not going to do that anymore, Harold.
Excellent. Welcome to the expert portion of the show. And on this week's portion of the experts, we have experts, my Uncle Red, and of course his good friend, Mr. Dougie Franklin. Okay, here we go. First letter goes as follows. Dear expert, I find a certain woman very attractive, and she seems nice. But whenever I talk to her, she makes a face like she smelled something burning. And then she jumps into a taxi. What's the deal? Signed, Mr. Lonely.
Well, not much to go on there, Harold. Mr. Lonely could be Mr. Loser. Or maybe the woman's just playing hard to get.
Well, no, Ray. It's been my experience. Women don't play hard to get. They are hard to get. You don't just walk up to a woman and start a conversation. You drive up. When there's a hint bold as brass in that letter, she got into a taxi. Hint, hint, get yourself a set of wheels.
What, like your monster truck, Mr. Franklin? Because personally, I find that, completely inappropriate.
Well, don't you go kidding yourself, Harold. Women love a monster truck. They love the power. They love the size. Women love all that rubber.
What about the eye contact, though, Dougie? You're up the monster truck there. Don't you need something shorter like a van or a pickup truck? Make you have that eye-to-eye thing that they recommend in those magazines that Bernice buys.
You're on to something there, Red. If you take that thought just a little bit farther, it might behoove you when you go to buy your vehicle to get one that puts you right at eye level of whatever it is you want to be looking at, while you're talking to her. Catch my drift. And another thing, power windows. Power windows. Women love a man that can drive up smooth as can be, raise and lower his windows without cranking and wheezing. You know what? It makes them think you're good with your hands.
Problem, Uncle Red?
This fish finder's useless, Harold.
Maybe it's just a loose wire. Is it covered by warranty? Was it covered by warranty?
I told everybody that fish finders were illegal, so everybody was letting buy the fish finder or borrowed one or stole one or whatever. But we were monitoring every cubic inch of Possum Lake. We would see every single fish in the lake. Nobody saw anything. Nothing. Completely blank screens. And Stinky Peterson told us what was going on. Bob Stuyvesant and the Ministry of Natural Resources must have been sending out some kind of jamming signal. We weren't getting anything.
So, Uncle Red, maybe just let me get this straight. Not one fish finder was registering fish.
No, sir.
Okay, now before they had their dynamite and poison and high voltage power lines confiscated, did even one lodge member catch a fish?
No. What's your point?
There are no fish in Possum Lake. Possum Lake is fishless.
Golly, that's a relief.
A relief? No, Possum Lake is completely lifeless, Uncle Red.
Boy, here I thought my fish finder was broken. All right, it is broken, but I mean, it makes me feel a lot better about having all the equipment confiscated, I'll tell you that. And actually, when you think about it, this is kind of a joke on Bob Stuyvesant. He took away all our stuff to protect the fish, and there aren't any. What an idiot. Oh, man.
It's meeting time, Uncle Red.
Yeah, you go ahead, Harold, okay? But don't tell the guys about the no fish. I want to give them the good news. Oh, boy, I love trout season. If my wife is watching, I'll be coming straight home after. I won't be bringing a big mess of fish or anything, but I'll tell you what to do. I'll stop off at the takeout place there, you know, and that way we don't have to cut the heads off or cut the tails off or pull all the guts out unless I go to the cheap place. And to the rest of you, thanks for watching. On behalf of Harold, myself, and the whole gang up here at Possum Lodge, except for the fish, thanks for watching, and keep your stick on you guys.
Stay tuned for Doctor Who, next on New Hampshire Public Television.
I just found out
in the first quarter, and orders for durable